Let us see about Vmos, LED, LCD, optical, optocoupler, solar cell and CCD. Vmos. Here, while we are seeing this Vmos, this is one of the disadvantage of the typical MOSFET, and it is reduced power handling levels compared to BJT transistor. And here, the shortfall of a device with so many positive characteristics can be softened by changing the construction mode from one of the planar nature to one with a vertical structure. And also, all the elements of the planar MOSFETs are present in the vertical metal oxide silicon FET, that is the metallic surface connection to the terminals of the device, that is the SiO2 layer between the gate and the p-type region between the drain and source for the growth of the induced n channel. The term vertical is due to the fact that the channel is now formed in the vertical direction rather than the horizontal direction for the planar device, and the channel has the appearance of VI cut in the semiconductor base, which often stand out as a characteristics for metal memorization of the name of the device, and also leaving out some of the transition levels of doping, but it does not permit a description of the most important facts of its operation. And while we are seeing this, the application of the positive voltage to the drain and the negative voltage to the source with the gate at 0 volt and some positive, typical positive on level, and the length of the channel is now defined by the vertical height of the P region, which can be made significantly less than that of the channel using planar construction, and diffuse layer can be controlled to small fractions of a micrometer, and since decreasing channel length result in reduced resistance level and the power dissipation level of the device, operating circuit levels will be reduced, and the contact area between the channel and the no region is greatly increased by the vertical mode construction and contributing to the further decrease in the resistance level and an increased area for current between the doping layers. And also, the net result is the device with the drains current that can be reached to ampere levels with power levels exceeding 10 volt, and compared with other MOSFETs, MOSFET has reduced channel resistance level and high current and power rating, and this is the device having switching time less than one half that encountered for the typical BJT. And next one is light emitting diode. This is the symbol of the light emitting diode, and also in the case of light emitting, there is LED. It is a semiconductor light source, and LEDs are used as a indicator lamp in many devices and are increasingly used for lighting. And also, when a light emitting diode is forward biased, electrons are able to recombine with the electron holes within the device, realizing the energy in the form of photons, and this effect is called the electroillumination and the color of the light, and it is determined by the energy gap of the semiconductor. And the LED is often small in area and integrated optical components and used to shape its radiation pattern. The LED is powerful enough for room lighting, are relatively expensive and require more precise current and heat management than compact fluorescent lamp when we are comparing to the other output. And also here, while we are seeing this, that is the light emitting diodes are used in application as diverse as replacement of evolution lighting, automatic lighting, and as well as the traffic lights. And also the infrared LEDs are used in the remote control units of some many commercial products including television, DVD players, and other domestic uses. This is the light that is light emitting diode. This is the VI characteristics of light emitting diode. Next one is solar cells. While we are having the solar cells, there is the basic construction is of silicon PN junction solar cell. Here every effort is made to ensure that the surface area perpendicular to the sum is the maximum, and also a photon of light energy in this region may collide with the valence electron and impact to this sufficient energy to leave the parent atom. This result is a generation of free electrons and holes. This phenomenon will occur on each side of the junction. While we are seeing this in the p-type, the newly generated electrons are major minority carriers and will move rather freely across the junction. As explained for the basic p-n junction with no applied bias. And also the result of an increase in the minority charge carriers, which is opposite in direction to the conventional forward current to the p-n junction. This since V equal to 0 and vertical axis and representing a short circuit connection, that is the current at this intersection is called the short circuit current, and it is represented by the notation ISC. And the major increase in VOC increases for lower level increase in emulsion, and also increase in emulsion will have a very little effect in VOC, although IC will increases causing the power capability to increase. And this is the VA characteristics of the solar diode. And second one is the VOC and C versus elimination of solar cell. And next one is the optical optocoupler. Well, we are seeing this optocoupler. It is an electronic it is called as the optocoupler or photocoupler or optical isolator, and it is a component that transfers electrical signal between two isolated circuits by using the light. And the opto isolator prevents high voltages from affecting the system receiving the signal. And also the common type of opto isolator consists of a LED and a phototransistor in the same package, and they are used for transmission of digital signals, but some techniques also used with analog signals. In the case of opto isolator contains a source of light, although always a new infrared LEDs that converts electrical input signal into light, a closed optical channel, and a photosensor which detects incoming light and either generates electrical energy directly or modules electrical current from flowing from this external power supply. The sensor can be of phototransistor, photodiode, photoresistance, and a silicon control rectifier or a trioc. An optocoupler solid state relay contains a optocoupler, photodiode, opto isolator which provides a power switch, usually the complementary pair of MOSFET. And next one is CCD, that is charge coupled device. In the case of charge coupled device, it is a device for the movement of electrical charges usually formed between the device to an area where the change can be manipulated. And the CCD move charges between capacitive bins in the devices with the shift allowing for the transfer of charge between bins. In CED, it is the major piece of technology in digital imaging, and the capacitor was biased above the threshold for inversion when image acquisition begins, allowing the conversion of incoming photons into the electron charges at the semiconductor oxide interface. The CCD is then used to read out these charges, and also the application with less extractly quality demands such as consumer and professional digital cameras. There is active pixel sensors are generally used. Here the large quality disadvantages CCDs enjoy early on the narrow over time. In CCD, for capturing the images, there is a photoactive region and a transmission region made out of the shift registers. An image is protected through a lens onto the capacitor array, causing each capacitor to accumulate an electric charge proportional to the light intensity at that location. Once the array has been exploded to the image, is controlled circuit causing each capacitor to transfer its content to its neighbor. At the last capacitor in the array dumps its charges into the charge amplifier, which converts the charges into the voltage. By repeating this process, the controlling circuit converts the entire contents of the array in the semiconductor into a sequence of voltages. In the digital devices, these voltages are then sampled, digitized, and usually stored in memory. In an analog device, they are processed into a continuously analog signals, which is then processed and fed out to other circuits for transmission, recording, and other processing. Thank you.